Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time. Last time on Star Trek, it was the Wild West. It was pretty great.
It was a fun time.
It was a very fun time. Today we were watching an episode called Day of the Dove.
Day of the Dove?
Day of the Dove.
Okay. I think it's one of the shorter titles so far in Season 3.
Oh, that will change next time.
Oh, brilliant.
That will change massively next time.
I'm looking forward to it.
But for now, we're going to see what Day of the Dove is about. We're going to post post-episode thoughts in a second. Be sure to join us then. We're about to watch said Day of the Dove. This episode would move me to tears if I still had tears to shed. I really just wanted to open on that because Michael Ansara is here! Michael Ansara plays the Klingon leader in this, and he's in some pretty heavy blackface.
I'm pretty sure they all are.
Except for the lady. She's only kind of in blackface. It's really bad in this one. And this is the worst we've had it yet. Like, they're really, really dark, and I just...
Is that to hammer home the racism message? Like, are they darker specifically for that reason? I like to think not.
Yeah, I really hope not.
But it's a possibility, and I just had to put it out there.
Yeah. But again, Michael Ansara's here, Mr. Freeze himself, and that's nice. But, okay. It's a good message for an episode. If you didn't have the actors in blackface.
Yeah, right.
It's also a really, really simple episode if it weren't like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need to be 50 minutes is what I'm saying, I guess. Like, if Star Trek was like a half-hour show, say something like the animated series.
Yeah, this would be better suited to something like that.
Yeah.
That, or you do what this plot wants to do in a different context where a 50 minutes is warranted.
Yeah, definitely. Like
the peace treaty that the Klingons and the Federation have breaking down, and why is that happening?
Mm-hmm. But, this episode also kind of like builds itself up to almost be like a big character piece for a member of the Enterprise crew, Chekhov, because he gets that big moment at the start of the episode where he's like, oh, the Klingons killed my brother, and now I want to kill them, and it's like, okay, so in your message of racism bad, you're blaming all Klingons for this or whatever. Like, it could be that message.
Right.
If we didn't find out, eventually, that Chekhov never had a brother, and this is all the work of the spinning ball of light that's just kind of hanging around on the ship.
Right. Like, it was on the planet, and it just, like, the planet they initially go to, and then it's like, then it's just on the ship, because all the Klingons are prisoners and stuff.
With the spinning ball of light, it's implied in certain scenes that they can't see it, and towards the end they can all see it.
Right.
It's weird.
I don't know.
Think at least.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's obvious for the audience where it is and what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's going, I should say.
Yeah.
But then it seems like a lot of actors, and like there's people looking in the direction of it, and no one says anything.
Yeah, it's weird. I did love the whole sword thing. I thought
that was really interesting. Yeah,
that was fun. I don't know, just the alien is just there. The alien is the biggest hater. Like, it just hates everything. It wants everyone to hate each other, and I respect it. I respect the hater game. It's great. He turns like everything into swords. They turn everything into swords. I don't know. They turn everything into swords, and everybody starts fighting, and that lasts a good 2 minutes of fun, and then towards the end everybody's sword fighting again. I did love towards the end when they were all sword fighting, and Spock is there along with all these red shirts. And he does the Vulcan neck pinch thing, and he takes out this one guy immediately. And it's like, why are you leaving the battle then? Just you could end this fight immediately,
right? You're behind you're behind them all.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh yeah, also back on the Chekhov brother thing. So I said this as we were watching the episode. I kind of love how little Kirk knows his crew members. He Chekhov says oh yeah, the Klingons killed my brother, and Kirk's like, yes, absolutely, the Klingons did kill your brother. You're right. And then he's talking to Sulu about it later, and Sulu's like, why is Chekhov saying that he has a brother
whatever, or
however he words it. And Kirk is like, oh well, don't you know, Sulu? The Klingons killed his brother in a raid. And Sulu's like, no, they didn't. Chekhov doesn't have a brother. And Kirk is like, how very true. I'm going to go talk to Chekhov now. There's this weird shot. We actually had to rewind it because we weren't sure what was going on.
We were a little worried something had occurred.
Yeah, I don't know why. There's just a shot that looks a lot like Chekhov is kissing Mara, the female Klingon.
Like forcefully to keep her against a wall or something.
Yeah, it was really weird. But he is just like trying to keep her quiet, and he's like has his hand over her mouth.
And it's just shot weird that like he's really close to her.
Yeah,
too.
we thought we like missed something. So we went back a couple seconds. It was weird. I don't know.
It does not appear to be the worst option.
Yeah, no. It's yeah. Oh, also, I love the whole thing with Scotty and his sword. I'm guessing it's meant to be like a Scottish sword.
He chooses a better, different sword.
Yeah.
It's more appealing to him anyway.
Yeah. Thought that was fun. What else? Jeez. There's a sword fight between Scotty and a couple red shirts and all the other Klingons there, and the Klingons like come out towards Scotty. He like almost gets Scotty. Sulu just comes in and like neck chops this one guy.
He just goes down.
Yeah, he's great. I like how the entity though sort of like affects certain members of the crew. I like McCoy's rant towards the end, which is very similar to Mara's rant at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
About how they have death camps. And they do all.
They'll torture us, and then they'll kill us after they've learned literally everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I also really like the scene because first of all the power goes out to the ship, and it's Scotty, Spock, and Kirk like together in the one room on the bridge, and there's this fight that breaks out between Spock and Scotty, and I like when Spock begins to be affected by the entity. He's more like he's still like spewing like the same like sort of like racial hatred against humans that would happen to him, but he does it like in a very like subdued way,
right?
Very Spock way.
He's still saying what is essentially racial hatred to humans as a group, but like in such a calm manner that when he's out of it, you go, okay, Spock, I forgive you.
Yeah. I loved how dramatic the one captain's log was. Kirk goes, captain's log, stardate Armageddon. Like, what? What are you talking about? It's not that bad. You have dealt with far worse things affecting you and your crew than this little ball of light.
You laugh at the ship.
You literally just bully off the ship by laughing at it. Like, that's all that happens at the end. Is there's this fight between Kang and Kirk is like, we shouldn't fight. And Kang's like, oh shit, you're right. And then they turn to the little ball of light and they're like, yeah, fuck you, little ball of light. And Kirk is like, get off my ship. And actually, probably my favorite line in the episode, Kang goes, we need no urging to hate humans. Which is just fucking great. Like, that's the most valid argument there.
Right.
At which point the ball of light is just like, oh fuck, alright. So he just like...
It turns all blue and
swirls through the wall, swirls off the ship. You see him float into space. Like, I want him to just come back someday in some like far future show. I want him to just roll back on the Enterprise. He's like, let's try it again. I got this. He like musters up the courage to stand up against his school bullies, you know? Like, just, I think it's fucking great. I don't know.
It's such a funny idea.
But yeah, this episode kind of sucked.
All that to say, I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's just because we like, I don't know. I mean, you may have heard I was kind of struggling with what to say next for a little bit there. Like, there's not a lot here to talk about.
It's the whole episode is saying racism bad,
and that's fine. That's a fine message. But first off, completely nullified by the fact that you're using actual blackface in your episode, and also. It's such a simple episode. It takes so long for Spock and Kirk to figure out what's going on with the little ball entity thing, and by the time they do, we've already stretched the episode to its absolute limit, and it feels as long as it is. It's just, it's unfortunate because otherwise it could be a really tight, solid like 30 minutes.
And also I also feel like they kind of botch it a little bit because the Klingons still come off more aggressive, like as more of an aggressor in the group.
I agree, yeah.
Like if everyone was equally civil when this whole thing began, I think I'd be more behind, like a little more behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
But the Klingons did not start there.
Yeah. That said, though, as we described it, like the episode has a lot of really fun moments, and I can enjoy it for that. But overall, the episode's faults just kind of perfectly balance out its good stuff, you know. So it's like right in the middle. It's a weird one. So that was Day of the Dove. Next time we're talking about a Star Trek episode with, I believe, at the very least, the longest title in TOS.
Oh.
I'm looking at it right now. It takes up like the entire line in my notebook here.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Alright, so be sure to join us next week when we continue Star Trek the Original Series. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
Jacob.
Goodbye.